Now, is this general admission yet, or are you all just the sponsors? Give yourselves a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for making this convention possible. Charlie. Magnificent. Any words of wisdom for us, Charlie? How's the con going for you?
The con is great. Thank you for coming to my convention. Hooray. I'm very tired. No, thank you guys so much for coming. I said it at opening ceremonies, and I can't say it enough. We could not do this without every single one of you, all the way from regular badge holders to, of course, our very valuable sponsors. Just a quick little statistic for you guys. Sponsor, patron, and spirit badge sales accounted for something like 72% of our total income this year. So when I say the sponsors, really, we could not do this without you, like, I could not mean that more. So thank you very much to every single one of you.
Next year we need like a 3 or 4 hour panel where it's just Charlie taking a nap that he desperately needs. That's the con chair. Okay, I've never been to one of those. I'm not a chair, I never thought I was invited. So we're going to be getting started fairly soon once everyone has filtered in. I'm hearing to see if there's a line still. Anyway, you're all here for the Guest of Honor panel, right? Yes. Excellent. Which is not me, by the way. We'll bring them up in just a moment. But talk amongst yourselves, and we will see how the line situation is going, and then we will get started. Did you all bring questions?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, you have about half an hour to think of some questions, because we're gonna kick things off with, you know, the perennial favorites, and then we will open it up to the floor if folks have questions for our wonderful guests. Who has been? I'm curious. For whom is this their first pony convention? Outstanding! Welcome! Oh, fantastic! Okay, how many people have been to more than 3 conventions? Raise their hands. More than 5? More than 10?
I can't even count.
More than 15?
Close.
More than 20?
Nah, I don't think 20 yet.
More than 25? I feel like I'm in auction mode already, but this is amazing. Still a hand at more than 20. Wow. I mean, I'm seeing the Equestria LA shirt, so obviously you've been to a good number of these. Ben, okay.
I think I've been to
Right,
22
let me just get a thumbs up from the door. Is there anyone else out there? Door people. We're good to go? Awesome, thank you very much. Then let's get this. We're good to go in the back. Also, a huge round of applause, please, for our wonderful door and security and our AV crew who are making all this possible. Without further ado, let's bring up our wonderful guests of honor, and I will take a seat. First up, we have everyone's favorite falling over on stage. First up, we have Paul Howard. You can sit wherever you like.
Absolutely, I'm going to sit right next to you.
You can sit as far from me as possible if you feel more comfortable that way. Next up we have, here we go, this was the intro line. Everyone's favorite yak, Katrina Salisbury. You're wherever you like. That's fair. I mean, neither do I, but it felt rude to say so.
I'll do it.
Oh.
That joke went down like a lead balloon. So moving right along, let's bring out the one and only Raquel Belmonte. And last but certainly not least, the most innocent and kindest and gentlest and least evil character, surely, in the entire show, the voice of Cozy Glue, Sunny Westbrook. So,
Least evil, I like that.
least evil. By certain metrics, I mean. Let's kick things off, because this is kind of a special con. I know Katrina, I know Sunny, both of you have been to various in-person conventions in the past.
Just a few.
Just a few. You're old hands at this by now. But for Raquel and for Paul, you have done some online conventions in the year that we must never speak of. But this is your very first in-person pony convention.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it is true. He's not wrong. They're not wrong, not at all.
Are you excited to be here?
Thrilled. Positively. Yeah, this is wonderful. It's so nice to do this outside of the comfort of my home. Which is a strange thing to say, but I mean it earnestly. Genuinely. Yeah, I'm wearing pants for the first time at one of these things.
Yeah, it's nice to not have like 7 different lamps and like a couple of boxes in your laptop and a microphone. This is cool. This is very nice. I almost knocked the table over. I'm so sorry.
You're fine, fine. So,
She's not used to being out of the house.
I don't know how.
I don't think any of us are quite sure how to do that anymore, but thank you all for coming out as well. How many people, this is your first PonyCon since the year that must not be named? Yeah?
Wow.
Good on you for all coming out,
Incredible.
and thank you for taking precautions,
Yes.
being vaccinated,
Amazing.
masking up. It's good to see you all again. So my first question is for Sunny and for Katrina. Do you have advice, words of wisdom to these convention newcomers, and have you warned them yet about the initiation ritual?
In the spirit of true evilness, we shall not mention the initiation.
Oh, no.
ritual.
I
feel like I've blocked
Figure
it out of
when
my
it
mind.
presents itself.
We don't speak of those rituals.
We don't speak.
I gotta figure it out for myself.
But no, in all seriousness, what advice would you give these two? Did you give them any advice? Did they come to you beforehand, or did you think that you'd let them jump in at the deep end?
I said, meet me at the airport. The vendor halls, go through the vendor halls. But they've done that this morning, we'll do it again. The rest of this weekend. It's one of, like, my favorite parts of it. Going through and just checking all the different art and plushies and clothing. Thank you, Sophie. It's just, there's so much fun. 2019, I got my favorite pillow, a pillow of Ein from Cowboy Bebop. Yes, Cowboy Bebop fans. It's just, there's so much fun. Yeah.
And you finally got your Yona plushie in the last couple of years
I
as
got
well,
my
didn't you?
Yoda plushie. I accidentally left her in Vancouver. I'm so sorry. I know. She's the most adorable little plush from Hibiscus Stitch. So cute. I'm so glad that I finally got one.
Now, when you say you left it in Vancouver, do you mean, in your home, or did you leave it at the airport?
No, it's at home.
Okay, cool.
She's like right atop of the fireplace beside a bottle of wine. She's happy. Yeah.
You'll get back and that bottle of wine will be smashed.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to cleaning it up, but she's just angry I forgot her there. It makes sense. I get it.
Sunny, how about you? Words of wisdom?
I really like your advice on the vendor hall. I got some great Christmas gifts while I was there this morning.
Nice.
And then also make sure you get some sleep while you're here so you can really enjoy the next day as well. And then one of the things I really like to do at the conventions is make friends with non-convention people in the elevator. They're like, so you're with the rainbow people? Yes, I am with the rainbow people. And it was so awkward. We came down in the elevator and I was standing next to Bears fans. With my Packer shirt on, and if you're local, you understand. I'm like, don't give me attitude. You're on my home turf. Second of all, you probably drove down with Illinois plates. You'll get yours. And yes, we are with the rainbow people. We're just all about kindness. So soak it up and enjoy it while you can. I don't know. I think it's fun to do that.
Now, you said this is your home turf. You're from Wisconsin originally.
I am. I'm from about an hour and a half west in Verona, Wisconsin, where the Epic Health Electronic Medical Record Company is. Of course, when I was growing up, it was a giant cornfield, but now it's this huge company. So yeah, I absolutely love Wisconsin and I'm so happy to be invited to Milwaukee. This is fantastic.
It's your home convention. And then the rest of you I'm up here with a bunch of Canadians, yes?
They're all Canadian.
Canadian,
Right.
yeah.
From the Great White North, eh?
Yeah, snow.
Got lots of that up there, eh?
Yeah, you're from Vancouver. You cannot talk to these people
Hey,
about
we got snow on that mountains up
We have
there.
snow.
You seen it?
We go snowboarding.
It begins. We just need some battle royale music and I can just let them go at it. Okay, so let's talk about your upbringings a little bit, because tomorrow we have the script reading panel. Vivid Syntax has written another wonderful script, and you'll be reading that off, and then we're going to have a Q&A after that, where I thought we could delve into kind of tradecraft and acting and so on and so forth. But I would like to ask you a little bit more about your lives, because I think we have a tendency, well, not, not impertinent personal details, but social security numbers, that kind of thing.
My mother's maiden name.
I emailed you all that earlier.
Your first car and its color?
But no, I think there is a tendency amongst fans to put folks on a pedestal, and that's warranted in many cases, especially since you're all cool people with wonderful jobs. Yes, I'm assuming the audience agrees with me on that. Don't leave me hanging up. But one of the things I've found doing these panels over the years is that for as much as we are fans of these individuals, they all have people that they look up to and that they are fans of. And so I want to kick things off by asking about that. What properties, TV shows, films, games, books, especially given the last year where you may have had more time to indulge in those things than you would have necessarily wanted, what are you fans of? And we'll start with Cole.
Fantastic. All right, well, I think I decided that I wanted to be a voiceover actor when I watched Mrs. Doubtfire, and at the beginning of the movie, Robin Williams is doing like ADR for this smoking bird, and I remember watching and going like, what? People do that? And then after that, I just started inhaling like any behind-the-scenes stuff. Like I think Spirited Away had a terrific like Foley thing where they did Foley like live like sounds. They had like that feature, and I just thought it was so fascinating. So I think Robin Williams was probably the biggest like celebrity. But honestly, like my parents, both of them, like great at accents. My whole family loved doing bits. So it was always like doing accents around the table, like you're cleaning up, you go home, like, who's doing the dishes, Carl, get down here, and it was always that, and it just like permeated through my life, and then I just kept stumbling into things like theater, and I met people, and they said, go do this thing, go try a voiceover thing, and honestly, like the biggest thing was just saying yes to stuff, especially as a kid. When it was just like, I don't know, do you want to be a part of this play? It was like, yes, I get to miss school, that sounds awesome. And then I met someone through there, they're like, try this workshop, so I did it, and then it just kept spiraling, and every time I felt like, all right, maybe it's time to give up on the dream, like maybe it's time to go and find a Joe job or something. Something just comes out of nowhere, and just because I want it desperately. It's my favorite thing in the world to do, and so I'm just gonna keep doing it until the wheels fall off, which will be in 6 months. All that, idiot.
The goal has been thrown down, so Katrina.
I can't follow that. What have I been indulging in the last few years? Really dark, messed up stuff, to be honest, which probably was not a great idea, but I enjoyed it. So I watched all of Invincible, which I thought was incredible.
Got at least a couple of fans.
Yeah. The finale, you guys, it's still stuck in my head. It won't leave. The Boys, too, I guess, just really dark superheroes. But also, Tuca and Birdie, which is fun. Yes, Baldo knows. I haven't caught up with season 2 yet. I need to do that still.
It's so good.
I'm so excited. I started playing Mass Effect for the first time. Yeah. You guys, I played it so much in one weekend that my vision became completely blurry. Like, I'm not kidding. I had to go to the optometrist. I know.
Oh my god.
So then I had to take a little bit of a break, so I'm now finally on 2. Taking my time with that. I'm a Liara girl. Yeah.
I'm just shocked that you're cheating on Overwatch with Mass Effect.
I've kind of put down Blizzard for a little bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Azeroth had me for a while, but I'm like, no. I'm gonna step away from that for a bit. We'll see if some changes happen.
Good call.
Yeah. So I am cheating on Overwatch. That's what I've been playing. That's what I've been watching. It's all dark. Yeah. I'd really love to play a villain, dark villain someday. I want to follow in Sunny's
Yes,
footsteps.
you would. It's awesome.
We're going to delve into that a little bit
Ooh.
further on down the line, but let's talk to Raquel. What have you been up to?
Oh, what have I not been up to? A lot. I moved recently, but during the event that we will not talk about or say the actual thing, I moved in with my parents. So I was living at home and doing that. Sounded so Canadian. And I was basically just doing what they do. I was working a lot, and what did I do? Just watch a lot of the news with them. And what else did they have cable. I didn't have cable for the longest time. Food Network, Guy Fieri, mwah, I love. I do comedy, and I do comedy, improv, and sketch. So trying to find avenues to do that during that time was interesting. So I would do online stuff. Yeah, I wish I could say I played video games, but maybe you guys can all teach me a thing or two about what to do. The last video game I played was like a Mary-Kate and Ashley magical mystery mall. Oh, did they ever have a video game? They also had a Game Boy game, and I played that too. I was a 10.
I want to applaud you for admitting that in this particular audience.
I feel like I just lost everybody.
Can we add that to the video game room?
Yeah, what else you want to know? Did I go to Second City? You wish. I did, actually. But I did just move to Toronto. So that is a thing that I did or have been doing.
Very cool.
This is so rough. And I also watched Duke and Birdie. It's so good. Season 2 is so good. Oh.
Watch it here.
Yeah, I can't remember anything I watched. It is such a blur. I rewatched all of The Simpsons. Is that cool to say? Yeah.
Isn't that, what are they up to now? Season 20, 28?
No, they're like
30,
31.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That's commitment. 31 seasons worth. Damn.
Every episode's perfect, too.
I have no quip for that. I'm just like, wow. Sonny, what have you been up to, and what are you a fan of?
Okay, you guys, if we could just keep this between us, because nothing I did was cool. I don't play video games because I have this thing, and I can't, I use my computer mouse upside down, so anytime I try to make the controller go that way, it goes that way, and I find the whole situation very frustrating, so I'm not a video game girl. So over the pandemic, I really practiced my craft of making macaroni and cheese, which sounded really funny. I did not make Kraft macaroni and cheese. I learned how to make macaroni and cheese from scratch, I find Gouda works really well. And I'll take any suggestions later for how to make a nice bechamel sauce. Thank you. And again, not cool. My husband and I binge watched the Gilmore Girls. Well, because look, I like Breaking Bad and dark TV, and real life was so dark. We're like, okay, where's a cheerful place we can go to? My Little Pony, obviously. And it's like there's 9 seasons of the Gilmore Girls. There are no stakes. There are no consequences on the show. It was fantastic.
There are
it's
stakes.
Melissa McCarthy making cupcakes. Oh, that guy from This Is Us was in there. It was fantastic. So it was light. It was fluffy. It was. We tried to just keep it cheerful and light.
I just love the dichotomy here that we have there of the evil character watching the light and fluffy stuff, and the there of the fun, quite fun and upbeat character going the darkest possible route.
It involves violence, I'm watching it.
So since we are amongst friends in here, and they can all keep a secret, and since the theme of this con is a celebration of cosplay, and Halloween is coming up, I would love to know about Halloween outfits, Halloween costumes that you've
Can I just jump right in?
Sure.
Because I love my Halloween costume so much. Okay. I always do Little Red Riding Hood because then I can have the basket instead of my purse. So I can have my phone in it and a bunch of candy. And I got a cape on Etsy. And then my dog is the Big Bad Wolf. And And then my husband is the friendly woodsman who saves us. But if he's working and it's just me and the dog, that works too. And then if we go to a party and the dog can't come, my husband dresses up as the big bad wolf, as grandma. So he's got the nose and the nightgown and the tail sticking out, and we think we're hilarious.
I don't know what I'm going to be this year, but I think one of the best costumes I have ever had. My cousin and I dressed up like Alvin and Brittany from Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then I used the hair piece that I wore to make a Harry Styles pumpkin the year after. That was pretty cool for me. I think I might be Madeline. I bought a beret, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I'm brave enough to wear it, so I might break it in on Halloween.
Bereva.
I hated
Right.
that, and with that, I'm done.
Got a few options. I did get everything. I just don't know which version or what I want to do. I bought Tiny Tina's from Borderlands. Her mask, her bunny ears, her outfit, and then I want my partner to go as Creek. And then we just adopted 2 kittens, and I'm like, how can we dress them up as psychos? And then they're just gonna run around the house. And I'll do their voices for them. We'll just video it. Or, if anybody is a fan of Big Trouble in Little China, I want my boyfriend to be Jack Burton. I really want to be Jack Burton, but he's got the shirt, so he can be Jack Burton. And then I would be Gracie Law. So, but I think Tiny Tina's gonna win. Oh yeah, I did. We can use that. We went as Bob and Tina from Bob's Burgers one year.
Outstanding.
So you can find the picture online. I could not see in the glasses. I did the full Tina glasses, and I was blind. I could not see. So can't do that
You
again.
don't have to wear prescription lenses. They
No.
make fake
I I put white paper in them and then cut out the tiny little holes to like do the cartoon eyes.
Way to commit. I like this.
And I was in a dark room the last time I wore that. It was not good.
Dedication.
Yeah. I
She's
take
method.
Halloween very seriously.
It's method with Halloween. Yeah, she's classically trained. Classically trained in Halloween. My Halloween costumes all got so much worse when I stopped living with my mom. I don't think I've had a good Halloween costume since I moved out. But I will say the best Halloween costume far and away was maybe grade 8 or something, and I was a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. Just like my favorite thing growing up. And I wanted to go as Trunks. And my mom, I swear, in one night, she sewed me a Capsule Corp jacket, which was like the perfect length, the coolest thing. Had a sword on my back, which my teachers didn't like. Dyed my hair purple, had the perfect like middle split. It was so cool. I thought I looked so cool. And if you look at pictures, I did, but not as cool as I thought I did. Which is kind of a fun thing.
That's how I feel about every photo I've ever taken.
Right, yeah. I'm trying to think. Oh, and then like every costume I did when I was a wee little baby was like precious. It was like a little dinosaur and stuff. Oh my gosh.
Little vintage pumpkin.
A little bit, yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, I think,
Pumpkin.
yeah, one year, like a scary clown thing. It was great. It was fun with big puffy pants. Yeah. But,
One year we
since
recycled
I've
my
been growing
angel
up-
costume, and I got to be Princess Leia, classic Princess Leia.
Oh, very
Thank you
nice.
very much.
I'm trying to think of. Oh, I did a couple's costume once as Jesse and James. A lot of hair dyeing. I'm seeing. It was great.
Which were you, Jesse or James?
I am sad to say that I was James because I think I'd make a great.
Okay, you say
That's
Jesse
the
James.
rocket?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
Black
should have
Mountain,
known that,
yeah.
You
I
say
mean-
Jesse James, I just think cowboy. Why would he have purple hair?
Because he's amazing. Because they're the best duo of all time.
You've still got 9 days if you want to, fix that catastrophic mistake and
Might
be
have
Jesse
to.
this year.
I may have to. I can dig up that
Do
costume
you want my
again.
Tina costume?
I can do that too.
My Tina costume.
Yeah, just give me hand-me-down costumes. Yeah, whatever worked for you, I'll just take it the next year.
So Cole, you touched on this a little bit already, talking about what brought you into the world of performance, but I'd like to open that up to the rest of you as well and talk about how you first discovered your love of performing and the route that you took. And I want to actually start with you, Sunny, because I know that your route involved fighting back against that instinct a little bit. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, Cole was talking about how he was first, introduced to voice acting. The first time I understood the concept of voice acting, walk with me. This is okay. So you know how you can get like baseball cards? I got Jaws from the movie Jaws. You could buy Jaws movie cards with bubblegum in them and it would have fun facts about the movie Jaws. I was obsessed with these trading cards. And one of them showed a scene. It was two little boys walking down the beach, and the fun fact on the back was the audio wasn't picked up when these two boys were talking, so their audio was dubbed over by two adult women. Like, that sounds amazing! Like, how can grown-up women sound like boys? I don't know, it's just the strangest thing. How could that ever possibly happen? So it was like, I always kind of had that in the back of my mind, and then I grew up watching like news radio and reruns of WKRP in Cincinnati, and I loved radio. And as a little kid, I have asthma, so as a little kid I didn't go out and play a lot. I would stay in and I would listen to old radio shows and would listen to records, and because we didn't have cable. So it was a lot of getting entertainment and exercising my imagination through sound. But I grew up in southern Wisconsin. We're not actors, right? Like, that's all for Drew Barrymore and Gwyneth Paltrow and anyone who Steven Spielberg's your godfather. That's not what real people grow up and do. So I went to university for, biotech and how to make fancy seeds and corn, and worked in a biotech company. I worked for a pharmaceutical company, and the recession hit, and I had to change careers, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do that radio thing. So I networked, and I met a bunch of radio people, and I'm living in Las Vegas, Nevada at this time, and I'm talking to the radio people, and they're like, you're insane, radio's dead. It's all Ryan Seacrest and syndication. We go in for 15 minutes and record 8 hours of stuff, and we're out of here. We're all getting into commercials and voiceover. I'm like, ooh, what's that? It's like, fourth floor, women's shoes and lingerie. Of course, elevators don't talk to us anymore, but so that kind of started the thought and the process. But I was in Las Vegas, where they don't do animation, and I was lucky enough to marry a Canadian and end up in Vancouver, and poof, here we are. Just a short 25-year journey.
Raquel, you look terrified, so I guess I'm going to pick on you.
I was like, should I go next?
You can go next. Yes, please do.
So I got into voice acting essentially because I was bad at everything else. So I come from a family of sports guys. Like, literally everybody does sports, and I could not. I was very bad at it. I hated everything I tried. It was not working for me. Then I tried dance, was very bad at dance, but then I tried musical theater. And I think the teacher noticed, like, oh, she likes the acting portion. So she talked to my mom and was like, hey, you should put Raquel in an acting class. So I did that, and then from there we had a substitute teacher, one acting class. And she was like, you sound so weird for a 12-year-old. And I thought, yeah, okay, cool. And she suggested I meet her friend, who is a voice actor and a voice coach. And then from there, and Sunny, I'm pretty sure that's where I met you.
I was gonna say, I wanted to follow up with you on this.
We should talk about
this. I think I took classes from your auntie.
You did,
There you go.
my fake auntie. So Marcy Goldberg was my voice coach.
She's also a pony, look her up.
Yeah, she is fantastic. And from there, I took a workshop and I was like, wow, people do this? This is people's jobs? They don't just like go and play sports, and this is a hobby well, at first for me it was a hobby because I was a child. I didn't understand work ethic and voice acting, but yes. So I did all these workshops, and then I got an agent. I've been with him since. She became my auntie. We did a workshop. And then actually, you want to know something funny? I remember being 14 years old, and I think this is okay to say, and I'm not going to get like sued. I remember auditioning as a young teen for like the original My Little Pony cast, but I didn't understand. I like went in my school uniform. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's very cool. This is very cool in a very interesting way, having that in the back of my brain. Like, oh, you were there. There was a group, like a big group of people. I think it was at GGRP. It's a studio in Vancouver. Will I get sued for saying that? No. Oh, that's totally cool.
No one's recording, it's all good.
But anyways, yeah, here we are. 30 years old and still doing it. That's something I did. I turned 30 during the
Happy birthday, belatedly.
I almost said it, and I did it. Thank you for the round of applause. My body needs it.
When was it, if I may ask?
When was it?
Yes.
September 5th.
Okay. That's not too long ago, so shall we embarrass her tremendously?
Yes. Embarrass me.
1 and a 2 and a 3 and a happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Best day of my life.
Happy birthday, dear Rebecca. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, you were correct in standing out. Thank you. That was gorgeous. Oh.
What was that? Something you wanted to share with the class?
That she's going to be insufferable after this. After this.
Cole, can I have a word with you?
Let's talk.
Yeah.
I'll stall. Talk.
No, Katrina, you were next anyway. Tell me about getting into voice acting.
My first role was at the age of 5. I played Sneezy in a children's version of Snow White. It was a riveting performance. Really, like those sneezes. Sir Anthony Hopkins would be so proud. I think I just knew I wanted to do it from there, to be honest, because I learned the entire play. My dad has a video of me like walking around to the other 5-year-olds whispering their lines because they forgot them and like pointing to where people needed to go for their blocking. So my little like dwarf outfit on.
Your true calling is to be a director.
Honestly, I mean, I've made one film, I don't know. It was a lot of work. But I really liked it from there on. And then I just I dabbled in classes throughout high school, did musical theater as well, and was like, yeah, this is fun. And thought about doing like a 9-to-5 job, and was just like, no, I just don't have it in me. I did think at one point, like, biology something might be cool, but I'm not a class type, so I took a year off after high school and was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna play my video games and eat pizza with my friends. Nothing matters, it's all good. And then my parents were like, no, you wanna act. Like, honestly, I owe them so much, because they were like, you wanna act, you have to go audition for a school and get in, or at least go do something acting related. You need to do it. You can't just sit here and have it come to you. I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, you guys are right. So I went and I originally went for on camera, because I was like, oh, that's acting, right? And then there was a voiceover portion of the program where I found out like I could sound like a 4-year-old. I was like, oh, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, neat. And the more I did voiceover, the more I loved it. And to me, like, naturally I'm just better at voiceover. I'm a very animated person, so